Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Test Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Wednesday, ready to do some recapping for House of the Dragon on HBO, or however you're saying it, them dragons, the little dragon show, the last dragons. I don't know what the blacks are saying these days, but they're saying it. Okay, and we support that. Um, but of course, you can find this podcast everywhere that you get podcasts. Just search the Blackout Tips. Tell a friend about our Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon recaps. We love when y'all do that. You share it. People go, "Oh my God, I found this podcast. I love them," and we love that stuff. So thank you for doing it. Of course, the official weapon of the show is
Taser.
An unofficial sport.
What about?
And Bullet Ball Extreme. And before we get this thing started, we got to say the same thing that we always say, which is, hey, talk to us nice. Leave us 5-star reviews. Make them nice. Make them 5 stars. We'll read them on the air. It's a real nice, lovely community we have going on there. You can leave feedback for the show. I know most of y'all want to leave it for the House of the Dragon recaps, which is absolutely fine. But no spoilers. Okay, we know you read the book. We all know how to read. We just didn't feel like it,
Right.
and it's fine. We just cover the show. We don't cover the books. So no spoilers, no predictions. We don't need your theories and all that stuff. You got some jokes you want to make, write your jokes in. Try to limit the whole I'm rooting for this person. Why didn't y'all just make the whole show, the Allison podcast? That's not what the show is. So we don't want that either. And just try to keep it neat and sweet and simple and short. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of y'all that want to get your voices heard. So be courteous and mindly of our time as well. All right, with no further delay, I think y'all know what we want to talk about. It's episode 9 of House of the Dragon, season 1. It's called The Green Council. Foreshadowing. Oh my God. And before I even play the song, Karen, I just need to ask you the same thing I always ask you. What'd you think about this episode?
Oh, this episode was good. This episode was really, really good. I know people feel all types of ways about them speeding things up, but maybe just me. I'm here for it. I like we're not playing, we're not fucking around, we speeding the storylines up, we're not dragging nothing out.
No pun intended. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was dragging, but no pun intended on this one. And I really, really I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm really looking forward to the next episode to see what happens.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well as a finale, as a penultimate episode. The finale, I'm really looking forward to us hopefully seeing some dragon fighting and shit. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The ending was a bit frustrating because of some decisions we'll get to at the very end, of course. So, this as a fan of the Game of the Thrones, it was a frustrating episode because I felt like a lot of people came up short this week and in their conquest for the throne. Like they pulled it off, but it's like when you win a football game because the other team fucked up somehow, and it's like, oh, we played like shit. They just played a little shittier. That's how it felt to me. Like I was very underwhelmed by the Greens and the way that they, rode this motherfucking George Bush ass nigga out into the king. But, all right, we'll get into that. First things first, though.
Out here with these C&D averages.
Yeah, it was a lot of legacy admissions going on. Not too much. Let's not get sued. All right, let's talk about it. It all takes place in one area, one location, King's Landing. Okay. So we didn't even really need to leave the city this week. We start in the dead of night, and the king has died. Viserys' soul has left his body, and so it's like nothing in the castle stern but the wind and the vacant halls, and the windows is open and shit. And we see like how empty it is, and then we see a little boy who whispers while we follow him for a bit, he whispers something in Talia's ear. Talia is the lady in waiting. She's Allison's like right hand lady. Okay. And we also know she's a snitch because she told Miss Saria all about the business last week when they was fighting at the dinner and shit. So like we know she goes directly to the white worm. Okay. She calls TMZ up. She sends in the tape.
She getting all the bags from the mother. They know her. It's a direct deposit now. They got a relationship.
Yeah, she the reason we seen Draymond punching Jordan Poole. Okay,
she let it out.
All right, like
she's like, they paid me.
Well, y'all wonder how we got the tape. See how we got it. So Talia goes to awaken Queen Allison to tell her the king is dead, and she like woke up in bed. And now this is interesting because I think it's that thing where like when someone is old and they die, it's already like it's sad because you love them, but it's not necessarily surprising. You see what I'm saying?
Because they old. That's what old people do.
But it's an extra level to this because Viserys ain't got like no eye, his arm fucked up. Piece of his jaw was missing. He could barely breathe. He couldn't move without milk of the poppy. Like it was like the way Allison was like, oh no, what? He dead. Like it was like, Allison, man,
you knew any second was gonna be his last breath. That's what he was telling y'all all last episode.
Right.
That's like when your grandma, your great grandma be telling people, well, I ain't long for this world, and they about to brush her off, and then one day she ain't there.
Yeah, unless it's like how JL Covan is always saying he's gonna quit comedy, and so maybe that's how much Viserys was talking about dying. They was like, oh nigga, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, you gonna die, whatever.
We don't believe you like we don't believe JL.
And then one day he really did die. It's like, oh shit, he wasn't playing.
Shit. Right. That's how I'ma feel when JL retired from comedy. Like, oh shit, he wasn't playing. But then I know JL, he fuck around and be like Tom Brady. Like, oh, you back. All right. I didn't think he was gonna be gone for that long.
So then Allison tells Otto, and Otto is in his chambers, and you know, and of course, this is after Allison tells Talia, don't tell nobody. Stay here, help me get dressed, keep this between us. And I'm like, she ain't gonna keep this between y'all. Otto is in his chamber. We see Allison inform him, like, yo, so the nigga is dead.
He finally left here, gone to glory.
And he's all business. First thing he want to know is who else know.
Yes, because that in his mind that matters, because the quicker it get out, the faster other people start doing shit. So he was like, nope, we gotta keep this in house so we can get this shit to rolling.
Yeah, he want to be the fastest. He's so yeah, she's like, yeah, the king is dead. He's like, does Black Twitter know yet? She's like, no, not yet. They haven't.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, he's like,
lipstick gotta know.
Right. And she's like, no. And so she tells
you, and it's that lipstick. I like the Crown, though. Like that's their website, just called the Crown.
So she tells Otto,
the White Worm. That's their site.
The White Worm. The whiteworm.com.
Yes.
Don't go that. The Wormopedia. So she tells Otto that Viserys' dying words were Aegon should be the king. We all know she got it confused, but you really can't blame her. It's the way they wrote this. They really wrote it in a very kind way for Allison to not just be like some power hungry, like just trying to get to the top person. Now, that being said, I personally, as a person that watches the show, would have liked for her to be unsympathetically, I'm trying to take the power. You know what I'm saying? I actually would have had sympathy for her. She would have been like, yeah, I was used as a pawn, but I've decided to be the queen and I'm going to take over the chessboard. But yeah, so she's telling him this, like, you ain't going to believe this. Last night with his dying words, with nobody there, he was like, put Aegon on the throne.
Can you believe that?
And it's wild because Otto is like, sure, whatever. Like I was going to do that anyway.
Yeah, it didn't matter what the fuck you said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whatever.
I'm glad he told you that, but it don't matter.
We see Talia light candles in her room in the window, which I assume is a secret signal to the White Worm that the king is dead.
Right.
You know, it's like the smoke coming out of the Vatican or whatever. It's like, oh, the Pope dead? You know. In the council room, they convene the council in like the middle of the motherfucking night or whatever. Like, everybody got to show up. They got the emergency text, beat me 911.
I know in the middle of the night, everybody's phone is on silent, and I know iPhone asks you, do you want to go anyway? You can say yes, and they forced it through, so they woke everybody up.
Notify them anyway.
Yes.
So they showed up.
They hit this shit like the Amber Alert. Bang, bang, bang.
They show up at the table. It's the usual crew, except of course Viserys ain't there. And Sir Kristen and Sir Harold are there as guards and shit. And so Tywin Lannister shows up. He puts his gold ball. I didn't notice it till this episode. Their balls are different colors corresponding to their houses and shit.
Oh, I didn't know
like
that.
The Lannisters is gold. Obviously Otto's is green.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. Anyway, so we see Tywin Lannister put in his shit or whatever. He's like, Tywin Lannister, I think is his name. But anyway, he's like, what the fuck y'all call me so early? It's the middle of the fucking night. Y'all couldn't wait one more hour. Was Dorne invaded or some shit?
I know, right? Did a war break out? He was like, what's so fucking important that I had to travel all the way out here? And it probably took them a hot minute to get that meeting together because all of them don't live in the fucking castle.
You know what? I actually don't know where they stay. I assume they must stay there
on the premises
to convene. I mean, they can't be having 2-3 days between meetings. So my guess is that all them people somewhere, at least on the premises, so they could, So anyway, he's like, what's up? And then Otto's like, yeah. So the king is dead. Moving on, Aegon.
Anyway,
yeah. Now we got that out the way. Aegon gonna be the next king because that's what Viserys had said at night last night, and nobody just heard it except for Alicent. And then thunder rumbles in the background. It's quiet as fuck. And then the blackness, of course, continues in this episode because nothing's blacker than fighting over the wheel before the funeral. It doesn't get much blacker than that. But
come on, we ain't even made the obituary yet, and they talking about what I'm gonna get.
Big Mama left me them dresses. Like, no, she
didn't. I have seen it get real ugly. Why is you going through the pictures? Right. There ain't nobody. The family not even. All the family ain't even gathered around yet. Get out of here.
Them my church hats.
Yes. Don't me and her got the same size feet.
So then, Tylen says, so we can go ahead and execute the plan. And this is when Otto is like, yep, got a lot to do anyway, so let's go through the minutes. Remember, we're gonna go with plan A, scenario B. Like we previously discussed, we got to replace the 2 captains in the City Watch. They still loyal to Daemon. Don't forget that. Write that down. Lannister,
write that down.
What's up with the money? Lannister like, oh shit, the money. Yeah, so the treasury, we got to break that down. We're gonna go split the gold, divide it in different houses for safekeeping, and then we're gonna send some ravens to the allies. And then that's when Sir Harold, Westerling, Lord Beesbury, and Alicent is revealed they didn't know about this plan.
And they purposely left them out of the plan.
Alicent is disgusted. Like she
was like, I am disgusted.
Yeah,
she hit him with that. She was like, y'all already knew.
I am disgusted.
That she can't believe that they've been machinating. Okay.
Yeah, she was like, I didn't know that y'all been doing this stuff. And put like this, and y'all left me out.
So this is so when I say disappointment with people, my disappointment starts here. Okay. Because as much as your girl Alicent had 20 years of I fucking hate Rhaenyra, her motherfucking bastard baby shouldn't even be on the throne. Fuck this bitch. She the worst.
She didn't plan for this.
Her and Sir Kristen dapping up. Yeah, fuck this bitch. You wasn't in on the plan, baby girl.
I don't think she planned for it.
I can respect the coup, but I can't respect the pawn. That's some bullshit. And I get that it's her father that left her out of it, blah, blah, blah. But like over 20 years, something needed to happen where she was like, what are we going to do when this motherfucker die? Because if we taking the throne, like we've been talking about, I need to be in on it. It can't be something that y'all spring on me as well as the people.
Yeah, and also I think that it would not be surprising if over the years her dad saw that she might have softened a little bit and was like, yeah, I'm going to keep her out of this plan. We're going to go ahead and
I don't think she would soften if he had his motherfucking you know, if he was out there keeping her abreast of shit, you know.
That's true. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah. Okay, yeah, because he did keep her out the loop.
this
which
wasn't no
matters.
surprise ass death. We knew this nigga was
No.
dying soon. He was on his last legs.
He been in hospice for a hot minute, and
Yeah.
you know, people like, we can't believe he died. You was like, you know what hospice is, don't you?
Like anytime this dude hold his breath, y'all didn't think, oh, he died. Secession? No, oh no, I'm sorry. He was just
one more breath.
He just had a hiccup, y'all. He just had a hiccup. Don't even worry about it. Pop, he's fine. So I was a little disappointed at Allison. And then instead of, it wasn't even like she was like, oh, y'all plotting and scheming, let me in. She was like, y'all been plotting and scheming? What? Oh my goodness. So I don't know. This is a little weird.
Yeah,
I could even see if she would have said, you know what? I was with this plan, but then after last night's dinner and shit, and you know, him saying the family need to come together, I don't know if I'm with the plan no more. Yeah, but it didn't even seem like that.
Yeah, that should have been verbalized.
What were you doing with Driftwood about to give the throne to Vaemon if you wasn't planning on doing this to Rhaenyra anyway? That was a shot at her succession. So I don't know. I wasn't feeling the whole, like, I didn't know. Like, I think the show wants to keep her innocent in a way, or not totally in the black or whatever. But I feel like when it comes to a coup, ain't no gray area. Because she still was like, I think Aegon should be the successor because that's what Viserys said when he died.
Right.
Which means you still are with the coup. What did you think was going to happen? You just going to tell Rhaenyra that, and then she going to be like, oh, okay, girl, no problem. I didn't know.
Right. It's like, how did you think this was going to go? Because like her daddy had told her in previous episode, if it's her, oh, trust, all us are going, like, it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She going to be cleaning house. Don't think you're going to put that boy on the throne and it's not going to be no pushback. Like,
I think
stupid.
she just not with the coup, and I kind of
it's like she want him to be on the throne, but she's like, oh,
I think she's not even with him being on the throne. When I say not with the coup, I mean I think she's does trust Rhaenyra to be the queen and not kill her and her family, and for it to be fine. I really think that's what happened over the course of this 20 years or whatever, that she arrived to some conclusion of like, actually, if Rhaenyra's queen, that's fine. I don't, even when she was ruling in Viserys' stead the last 5 years, it seemed like she was out kind of tired and over it. In them meetings they were having, it like she was like, damn, nigga, we gotta rule, we gotta keep ruling every day. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if she's just not built for this shit, and it's only circumstances that keep her in this point of like, I have to execute this plan.
Yeah, I agree she's not built for it, and I also agree that they should have done a better job to express her change of heart.
Yeah, it just, there were just hints towards it. Like, I don't think she had a complete trust of Rhaenyra or a complete change of heart of she should be on the throne. I think she don't like the way Rhaenyra gets down. But I also feel like that last episode took it. It's why it's like a Shakespearean tragedy. It took her to the edge of, actually, I might be okay with this. You the queen. Fuck it. My son is a rapist, son of a bitch. I disowned. What am I fighting for? You know, that's how it felt last week. And then this week it was like, well, he did say, it's like, nigga, what? Anyway, should have kept that to yourself. So then, but also I think she's finding out they're not fighting on her word. They could give less than a fuck that Viserys told her some shit. They were going to do this plan no matter what happened.
As soon as he took his last breath,
it
was like, plan Echo, let's go.
Yeah. So
it's like the protocol kicked in.
So then, of course, it gets ready to go down because not everybody's in on the coup, right? So and I don't even think Sir Kristen is in on the coup. I think he just hates Rhaenyra.
Yes, sir.
So Allison is like, whoa, y'all playing this shit without me. And Lord Wilde is like, listen, we just didn't want to sully your, brain, your little tiny woman brain with these darkling schemes. Okay, we was over here doing some dirt, and we thought the queen don't need no dirt on her.
We won't think you could want to be part of it.
But then my man, 50 grand, Lord Beesbury,
he was like, the fuck is this? He was like, that nigga been saying he want his daughter to be the queen forever. Give a fuck what y'all saying. That nigga did not change his mind overnight. Oh, you lying son of a bitches. That old man was hot.
He was disgusted.
Yes.
Disgusted by a lot of things. I'm very disgusted. to be quite honest with you. I'm just so disgusted. I can't tell you how disgusted I am. I'm disgusted with him right now. I'm so disgusted. I'm disgusted with it. I'm so disgusted. I'm so damn disgusted. I'm just disgusted. Oh, I'm just trying to be cool. But
they're like, we're gonna put up Amon and on the throne.
He can't do shit. He wouldn't be able to get nothing done. So why is he running?
He was hot. He stood up like, the hell is this? And that's probably why they kept him out of the loop.
So he was like, y'all gonna put the fucking imposter on the throne. And Lord Wild was like, the king's firstborn son is hardly an imposter. And then the other excuses was, why you bringing up old shit? The knights who pled filthy are probably dead. It's been 20 years. Them motherfuckers that pledged loyalty to Rhaenyra, they gone. Ooh, don't nobody give a fuck about them.
They got new people in the building.
And then, of course, whether we are scheming a coup or not, it don't matter, because the king's mind was changed according to his mama last night. According to Allison, this nigga changed his mind, so it don't really matter what you saying, bro. And he was like, I am 6 and 70 years old. And I was like, whenever old
people quote their ages, you know it's serious. He was like, look here.
Right.
I am old and I've been here longer than y'all been born. I was changing y'all niggas diapers. What you ain't gonna tell me?
Right.
He was hot.
This son of a bitch is sitting up there acting like, well, I don't know if it was before. I don't know if it was after.
Right.
Oh, Lord and Jesus, I don't remember. I got to look at my notes. You know, bitch.
That was his basic attitude, this whole proceeding. And he says, I know Viserys way better than y'all.
Right.
And I don't believe he said that shit. And the only person that's a witness is motherfucking Allison. No offense, but y'all niggas wilding. This is seizure. This is theft. This is treason at the least. And then Grandmaster Orwell, the black dude, he was like, hey, you might want to watch your mouth. Sir Christian sneaking up on your ass.
You might want to chill.
This appears to be a coup, and you might want to calm down with your reaction to it. And he was like, I will not calm down. The king was well last night by all accounts. And I'm like, by all accounts, the nigga need to be wheeled back to his room.
I mean, he was
touching his head where his eye was missing. Now, he ain't been well by all accounts in probably a good 15, 20 years, but okay, fine. He's like, the king was well by all accounts.
He was like, that nigga was talking.
Right. He's like, which of y'all can swear he died by natural causes with your own eyes?
Right, because, you know, all of a sudden y'all turning around and acting like you got this protocol in place. How I know that y'all wasn't basically the cause of this nigga's death.
And Lord Wild was like, you accusing us of regicide, my G? Just go ahead and say it. And he said, which one of us is you accusing? And my man Beesbury said, it don't matter if I'm accusing one of y'all or all of y'all, because I will not have a part in any of this. I said, oh, Lord. And here comes Sir Christian.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
He sneaked up on this man and slammed his head into his work ball.
I did not
killing him. Coming. And this is the sad thing about Sir Christian. This is the second time. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't think this nigga really be killing people on purpose.
Nope.
I think this man has anger issues. Okay.
I do too. I think he meant to just slam his head down on the desk, be like, get it together.
Yeah, because he even said sit down and then the nigga died. But here's the problem. He don't be seeming bothered by the fact that he killed people that bad. Like it'd be like, oh damn, I killed. Oops. That's on me, bad. Everybody. That's on me.
That's on me.
Guess I need a new Meister coin or whatever the fuck. Like just
I mean, he was like, y'all know y'all was tired of this nigga stuttering too.
Right. So he kills him.
Having his meetings last 45 minutes.
Telling them to sit down. And then Sir Harold pulls out his sword and say, Sir Christian, you calm your ass down. You put that motherfucking sword back on. Take off your cloak. You can't be killing people at the motherfucking round table.
Right. These people clocked in for work. You can't be killing people while they on the clock.
Now I have to say again. And I know I'm nitpicking, I guess, to some of y'all. I didn't read the books. But the show is not showing me why this nigga can just kill any fucking body. What are the limits to Sir Kristen's right to kill.
What
Do
are
they
the
have the
rules?
same thing we have in America where like a cop can't be sued for or some shit? Like, what is the fucking rules for this nigga?
That nigga
Can
Teflon.
he kill a king? Can he kill the hand of the king? Who can he kill? Because it went from where he just killed a random guy at the wedding. I'm like, it was a motherfucking royal wedding, and they killed like the best
Somebody,
man
in the party, right?
like that shit didn't make sense. And I'm like, well, he's now in the queen's. I'm like, what do that mean though? Do these niggas have like immunity? What else can he do? I don't like it. Anyway, so he draws his sword and shout out to my man Tyler Lannister. This is so smooth. He got up and Homer Simpson into the bushes.
I would have too. He seen the swords come here. He was like, do you want something? He was like, no.
Right,
He
yeah.
potted his ass on out the way.
It was like when you fucking it was like when you listening to when you're in the club and it's like fucking 2 a.m. and motherfucking
yeah, you hear that? You be like, you know what? Come on, girl, pack your shit.
Yeah.
It's time to go. They're about to fight up in this bitch.
yeah, we know this one. We know this one. That's how Tyler got it.
Everybody
Like,
start going to the exits.
yeah, I know this one. This is they about to fight, and so he tells Kristen to put his sword. He was like, and Kristen said, "I will not suffer insults to her grace, the queen." So this is his. I'm doing this for Alice's
His loyalty,
honor because he's saying Beesburg was accusing her of killing the king, and so he was like, "I had to kill this nigga because I don't take
think
that.
he meant to kill him, but it was like, oh hell,
I don't play by my mama." You know, he's one of them people. And so then they tell like nigga, put your sword away. Put your sword away. Kristen puts the sword up. And Otto says, all right, let's get back to business. But then Orwell, the black dude, is like, well, we gotta have Beesburg removed, and then we can come back and convene. It's like, no. Otto say ain't nobody going nowhere till the motherfucking business is settled, and we ain't settled the business.
All right, because as soon as these doors open up, all hell's gonna break loose. So we better settle everything right, motherfucking now.
So you gotta sit here next to this dead body and
this
act like we not seeing what's happening. So then Tyler Lannister says, he sits back down and he's like, well, Storm's in, they got Lord Burrows. He probably ain't gonna be loyal because he do got 4 unwed daughters, so we could do like a marriage proposal that might get him on board with everything. And then Allison cuts everybody off and she's like, what's gonna happen to Rhaenyra? And Otto's like, oh, well, we know she can't be free.
Right, like
definitely put her in jail.
Right,
you know
because it's gonna be a fucking all-out war, and anybody that's loyal to her we got to get them too. Because if we don't, it's going to be a problem. Like, he looking at her like, do you want your son on the throne or not? Because if you just let her roam free, it's a problem. Right.
So he's like, okay, number one, we definitely are not going to motherfucking let her be out here free. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to round her up. And then we're going to get her and her family and ask if they're going to pledge loyalty to Aegon. And Allison like, but they won't. Right. So then you're going to kill them. Because they ain't gonna bend the knee. Damon ain't gonna bend the knee either.
Right.
And then she looks around like, and y'all all agree? Y'all all in lockstep on this shit?
Everybody was like, yeah.
And then Otto's like, oh, I know it's unsavory, but it's necessary. The king would not wish for, and then she cut him off like, the king would not wish for us to murder his motherfucking daughter. He loved her. I will not have you deny this. Because he was like trying to be like, did he love her though? But she was like, no, nigga, he loved her. And then Lord Wild,
because he fought you for years. You lost your fucking job over her.
Right. We know he loved her because he knew them kids wasn't hers. He fought on that lie. He was like, nah, my daughter say they hers, they hers. So then, them kids wasn't Laenor's. Y'all know what I mean. Yeah. So then Lord Wild is like, yeah, but, and she was like, shut the fuck up. You say one more motherfucking thing, I'll send you to the wall, nigga.
Out there where Jon Snow was, I'm assuming that wall.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now here's the thing about Allison in the scene. She bossed up in this moment and was using the full authority of the queen, shutting these niggas down at this table. And it really made me wonder how much power does she have as queen? Because if Sir Kristen is an extension of her power and that's why he has immunity, then she really seemed like she should be more of a boss bitch than she is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and that's gonna come up later on, but yes.
Yeah, like why aren't you telling people, not asking people, not letting them plot and plan behind your back, but telling them? Because you know what? As much as Otto is, a piece of shit, I don't think Otto would kill Allison. And not like this. So I think if she would have said, we're not doing this, period, the end. Like, I think the way it's written is Viserys saying that shit on his deathbed is the only way to get Allison as a character to seem like she would somehow go along with this, but just not like the way they're executing it, as opposed to if he had never said that, the way she's so incensed, she should have been like, nah, man, fuck this. We not doing this. But I think it's that, well, my husband does want it. I just don't want to do it this way. Y'all doing it. Y'all are usurping the throne the wrong way.
Right. And a lot of her stuff is doing it the quote unquote wrong way.
Yeah, she's Mrs. Rules and shit.
Yeah, even though she done did some dirt too indirectly. Like, you know what I'm saying? The only thing she quote unquote was
indirectly,
like, fuck it, I do it myself, is when she sliced Rhaenyra.
She knows she's responsible for some dirt. She knows she's responsible for some dirt. So
yeah, she might
they all dirty at this point.
Herself, right? But she executed the she put the order out.
So then Thailand asked, well, what you want? What we supposed to do? And she pauses and she says nothing because she ain't got a better plan. And she low-key do want Aegon on the throne because Viserys said that. And Otto says, well, look, Westerling, Harold, go and get the knights, go to Dragonstone, be quick and be clean. And motherfucking Harold was like, are you motherfucking serious right now?
Like, you want me to go? Like, why me?
Yeah, like
I don't want your problems.
Right. Do y'all not know who the fuck I am? So it was kind of interesting to see him because he was Rhaenyra's like personal bodyguard person for a while when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And he's not the type to just throw that shit away the way, some of these other motherfuckers threw their loyalty away.
Right. And he basically watched her grow up and shit like that. He's like, nah, dog.
And he told her, and they're telling him essentially to go kill her because they know that this motherfucker is not, you're not just walking to Dragonstone. Your dad's dead. Come on back. By the way, you're not the heir no more. Nah, you're going to have to fight them, kill them, whatever. And so Harold instead takes off his white cloak and he says, fuck you, you cool, fuck you, I'm out, and he quits.
Right.
Because he said, if it ain't no king, what's the point of me being in the king's guard?
On the king's guard.
Until y'all got a king.
Dead, my nigga. So no, thank you.
Till y'all got a real king, I have no place here. Fuck y'all. So then now it becomes like a race to find Aegon. Like Helena's in her chambers watching the nanny raise their kids.
She don't care nothing about them kids.
That's the one thing about this show that I always find interesting is like they found a way to get people like, regular people. And I guess maybe y'all people do this with everything. They found a way to get regular people to root for these 1% ass white folks and shit. It was just like, I don't root for these people in real life. I don't give a fuck about these people, but here I am, like, who's gonna get the crown and be able to rule over the denizens of the realm? Like, what? Fuck these people anyway. So Helena's in there watching the nanny, the new nanny, because
no, it ain't no longer.
The old nanny got Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit. And so the nanny takes the kids away because Allison burst in with Otto, like, where's Aegon? And they're like, she's like, I don't know. He ain't here. Like, y'all know he don't be up in here.
Right.
And so the Helena's like, what happened? And Allison tries to tell her, but Helena says, there's a beast beneath the boards. She can't help herself. It's like she has Tourette's of prophecy.
Yes.
Like she
it's
can't
not
control
normal. You just she don't never know what's gonna come out.
Yeah, it wasn't no smooth transition. That's why it doesn't read until this last episode where people like wrote in about it. It never read as prophecy to me. I just thought she was talking crazy because it don't come out like she's taught. Like, it's not like you go up to her and go, what's in my future? And then she's like, oh, beware the beast beneath the boards. No, You like, hey, so what are we eating for breakfast? You want pancakes or waffles? She like, the beware the beast beneath boards. You like, okay.
Okay. Chocolate pancakes, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Strawberry.
I'll look out for that.
You go. I guess. This is what we doing, and so
Right.
you know, it's one of those things where I think she's older now, but it's one of those things where I don't know if she had been trained or what, but it's one of those things where she's like, it just comes out when it comes out.
How her mama ain't got her? See, this is why Allison a terrible mom.
Right? Because
how you ain't got this girl in like some prophecy school or some shit? She needs some training.
That's her fault.
Yeah.
For not actually talk to her husband, because her husband knows those types of things. You know, because he would tell Rhaenyra about that shit, and he could have been like, okay, let's send off to Hogwarts or wherever to get the training that she needs so that she know how to use her gifts.
Get a cauldron or some shit, man.
Right.
It don't make no sense. But anyway,
get a sugar spice, some chicken feet, something.
So Aemon walks in, and Aemon see them talking, and he just stare with the one eye, and he don't say nothing. And then Otto goes and leaves the room like, fuck this shit, y'all don't know where he at, I'm gonna find him. And he goes and tells, now there's two twin brothers. I'm not even gonna front, I didn't care to tell these niggas apart. Now I know they're different, and I know their names, right? And I know which one is the good one, which one is the bad one, or whatever. But as far as like, if these niggas walked up to my front doorstep and they said, let the one in that's not evil, I don't got nothing for you.
It's a 50% chance I'm dead, because
they made these twins look a little too much alike for me. Like, these niggas definitely got like, it's like one mustache curls up. I'm like, I don't have time to freeze the frame every motherfucking time. Like, one of y'all need to go bald and just call it a motherfucking day. Like, can one of y'all just wear a different color
or something? I mean, come on.
Like, this is a little, and I don't like these twins in shows like this with all this intrigue and backstabbing, because it only take one time for one of the niggas to turn his beard up. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, you was telling the wrong person the information the whole time, and now they done killed everybody. Like, nah, y'all got to do better. Right. Figure this one out.
Come on, these real life twins.
Cut one of their hands off or something. I don't know. Yeah, something. So then Aemon, I'm sorry. So then Otto goes to Sir Eric with an E and says, "Where the prince? You supposed to be his motherfucking number one bodyguard."
And he looking at him like, dog, you know your grandson, like I'm actually really supposed to keep up with him. A word.
Yeah, his grandson has been using his authority as prince to be like, don't follow me, and then he been slipping out of the castle. So he's like, he probably outside the castle doing some fuckery, man. Right. I don't know.
Right, I have no idea, and I'm gonna follow his instructions, because if I don't, it's a problem.
Right. So Otto's like, find him and take your twin brother, so it'll be extra confusing for the audience. And don't wear your white cloaks. That way nobody even know who y'all are. And then you bring them to me and me alone, and don't you tell nobody shit. And so he go to get his brother to do that. Rhaenys, auntie, who I thought had flown back to Driftmark, but apparently she had just went to bed early and not went to dinner, which is also my signature move.
Okay, I thought she had went home. So apparently she was like, fuck y'all dinner. I'm taking out the first flight in the morning.
Is that right? It's definitely a signature move of mine to be like, well, that's enough people for me. I know y'all about to get into a fight at the space table. Why would I need to be there?
Right.
So then she goes to open up her door because she got woke up to the sound of somebody locking her in the fucking room. So she like, what's the meaning of this? And then she looked out the window, and they putting the staff in holding. Like, they putting they want to make sure this secret do not get out.
It's like, ain't nobody leaving this bitch.
They're like, everybody go down to the chambers or some shit.
Round them all up.
They put Talia in holding.
So she couldn't get out.
And she asked for she tried to get the guard. She's like, guards, what's going on? And then we see Larry Strong looking on in the background, at, like, right by her where she's locked up at. And I found out this episode, apparently he's the Lord Confessor, which sounds like the torturer of the keep, which might explain like why he be torturing people and cutting their tongues off.
Oh, that's his position?
That's what they called him, the Lord Confessor. So apparently that's like a position they had in the castle. Like, this nigga gonna get the truth out of you or whatever. The Guantanamo division. So Allison asked Sir Kristen to do the same thing. Go find Aegon and bring him straight to me and only me, and don't tell nobody and don't wait. Same thing Otto said. But while she's saying that, she implores him, everything you feel for me as your queen, like that's how important this task is. So she constantly is playing on like his feelings for her as queen.
Right.
I don't know that or think that it's like a sexual thing.
I don't think it is.
But it's almost weirder and scarier how devoted this man is to his oaths, man.
Yep.
Like, I guess that's what you want if you the person he pledging to.
Yeah, but
I would be scared.
Yeah, because I think the energy that he was giving Rhaenyra, he just basically took that energy and put it on Allison.
He reminds me of when you get like a podcast fan that's like your number one fan, but also if you ever do anything, I'm gonna be your number one enemy.
Right. If you ever cross me,
right. It's like
until you do right by me.
Yeah, it's like I don't.
All right, calm it down.
I don't need that level of support, my friend. Just you can support me from a distance and allow me to be a disappointment sometimes in real life.
That's right.
And
like
then you just move on with your.
You just have to be the end of the world.
You just move on with your life and it's fine, rather than you be like, and now we'll destroy everything you ever built. And I feel like I
don't need you burning everything.
He gives me, I love you so much as my queen. And then the second he finds out she's less than perfect, he gonna be like, bitch, I'll destroy everything you ever did. I can't believe you.
How dare you let me down?
But anyway, Aemon oversees this and says, I'm coming with him. And Alice is like, I didn't say that. And Aemon's like, listen, Eric and them ain't the only ones that know how my brother gets down in these streets. Right. So you need to let me go, because we might be able to find them first if I go too. And then
I kind of believe that.
They go out into the streets. First place they go, the Hoe House. Of course. The Street of Silk is what they call it. So they go down to the Street of Silk, and Aemon tells a story to Kristen about how, like, yeah, my brother, he's well known in the Hoe House area. On my 13th birthday, he took me to educate me about tapping that ass and said, you need to know I'm your brother. I need to impart this knowledge to you. And he said, well, at least that's what I understood him to mean.
Which means he was very young and was like, okay.
Well, no, what that means is that's not what he said. He didn't say, I'm going to educate you about having sex with women.
Okay.
What he actually said was, time to get it wet.
Oh, okay.
Because Sir Kristen was like, I don't follow. What you mean he was going to educate you? And he was like, well, he said time to get it wet. I just inferred that he meant as an older brother, I got to teach you how to have sex with women. And Sir Kristen did not like this. So when he told him, like, yeah, Aegon said time to get it wet, he said, Kristen goes, every woman is an image of the mother to be spoken of with reverence outside of this Hoe House.
At him, like, if you don't get the hell out of here, time to get it wet. It sound like something your great uncle will tell you, your cousin or some shit.
Definitely your uncle that takes you around to his car and give you a shot of the brown liquor out of his trunk type of movements there. But anyway, so Aemon tells Kristen that the woman comes to answer the door, the prostitute, the bottom bitch, I don't know, the madam of the house, that's what they're called. I was like, it's like, what is that? I know it's a position. And while this is happening, Arik and Eric are in the background, like they just talking to like barkeeps and homeless people and crack addicts and shit. Like, y'all see Aegon? So they were already on the path. Like they didn't even bother to go to the like reputable Hoe House. They was like, why would we do that? You, sir, there, smoking a glass pipe. You seen the prince? He's like, oh, right down there on 7th Street. Yep. Just keep on heading that way. You can't miss him. So Kristen is being all like a fucking Pulp Fiction detective novel.
He didn't have no business going on that trip. He was like, no, we going to the Hoe House. Like, you got to calm it down and act cool. Like, you actually are like being stiff in the square, and you're actually standing out and drawing attention to us.
Yeah, he was,
because you're like, hey, can I have a drug? Can I have the sex? Everybody looking at you like, the hell you talking about?
Yeah, so he says something to the effect of like, Listen, we had a friend, he got a little too drunk last night. And we lost him. Wink, wink. She's like, I don't know what you mean. He's like, we're looking for the discretion that you normally have in your line of work.
I mean,
It's the Prince Aegon. And she's like, why didn't you just say that? But she's like, he ain't been here in not a long time. He's like, was he here earlier? She's like, years ago, but he doesn't frequent the Street of Silk anymore. He's down by ye old crack spot because he's into some freak shit that we don't do here anymore.
Yeah,
he can only get off the hentai.
Yeah, it's like, we may be ladies of the night, but we got lines we don't even cross.
Yeah, she's like, listen, Aegon watched that porn with them scenes after that explain like that it was consensual. He is no longer into just like come in and frequent the prostitute spot. So good luck.
I hope you find him.
Meanwhile, Amon was trying not to make eye contact, but eventually she looked at him and goes, how you grown?
Yeah, you done turned to a nice young man.
And he left. He said, all right, then you have a good one. So then we have this segment, which I smushed together because it kind of all goes together, and we'll get back to it in a second. But I call it the Ballad of John Malkovich. Okay. I forget the name of this Lord. I'm sure it's important in the books. The show hasn't made him that important. He was in like one scene last week, and he was in this scene this week, but he looked like John Malkovich to me. So anyway, back in the throne room, Otto standing in front of the motherfucking, stone, the throne with all the swords, the Iron Throne. Larys looking on from the rafters and shit. Otto is like, hey, so listen, get down to lay down. What y'all doing? The boy is king. Take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. We need all y'all to be motherfucking loyal. Bend the knee right the fuck now. And one dude was like, I think I need to talk to my wife. Women. And then he tried to leave.
He was like, nope, you gonna make a decision now.
Yeah, Otto was like, nah, ain't gonna be no wife talking. So the dude came back and said, well, I'm not an oath breaker. I will not bend the knee. And there was like 7 other Republicans standing next to him and shit. And then Otto said, okay, anybody else? And then the motherfucking guards came and got that nigga, and everybody but 2 people took that knee. It was just like Liz Cheney said, my house ain't oath breakers. And they took her ass away. And my man John Malkovich folded. He said, y'all know y'all sending people to jail. I'll take a knee. Y'all call me Kaepernick. Okay. I'm gonna be on the knee. Okay. All right, call me Janet Jackson in the 80s. I'm gonna be on 2 knees.
Just
okay,
give me a knee pass so I can be comfortable.
Right, I'm about to bend all the knees up in this bitch. I didn't know y'all was locking niggas up. That's crazy.
That don't make no sense. No.
Right. So then I'll skip forward to his part because it's easier. So everybody's like, long live the king. And then John Malkovich gets on his horse and he just casually, whistling. And he's like, oh, going out for a stroll. Can you open up the gates there for me, boys? And they're like, no problem, Lord John Malkovich. And they start opening up the gates. And it's like a heist film because the gates.
He started looking nervous. I kept saying, "Why he's in a rush to get out of there?"
He was looking nervous. The gates was moving slow as shit. They've never opened the gates slower than that.
Of course not.
And unfortunately, they come and grab him off of his motherfucking horse. Like, no, you not. And they pull him back, and they bring him into the room with Otto Hightower and Larys is in there, the Lord Confessor, and he's like, yeah, caught him trying to escape, dog. What we gonna do? And my man John Malkovich was like, oh, come, y'all know I don't fuck with Prince Rhaenyra. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. I bent the knee. I mean, why y'all even acting like this? And Otto says, okay, cool. So you wasn't trying to do nothing to us. Okay, that's cool. You was just trying to get out on your own.
He don't want nothing, no word to get out, boy.
Where were you headed to?
Now you see something. Now you see now. You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I
see what I'm saying.
I thought.
No, so, you know what I'm saying? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you? Yeah, I know you done fucked up, don't you? No, don't you? No, you done fucked up.
Because he couldn't come up with a lie. And I honestly was so disappointed in this man. Bro, you didn't have a lie ready? You gotta, oh, my wife's sick, something. This man literally drew a blank. You're like, where was I headed in a rush?
Like if you got something on the grocery list.
That is a good question. It's like, no, man, you gotta have 12 lies ready.
Yep.
Anyway, he ain't have no lie ready. They take him away. And then Otto was like, Larry, she did a good job. You killing it right now. Literally. And I also want to know, you've been spending a lot of time with the queen lately. And Larry says, well, ain't no reason that my hours spent with the queen can't benefit you, player.
I was like, this nigga.
I honestly, I don't, what is his motivation? What is his motivation? What
no
the fuck,
idea.
Lars? What are you dedicated to? What, you killed your own family, so I know it's not family.
It's definitely not family.
Like,
you have no loyalty to that.
Otto didn't even really ask this man for nothing. He was like, I can get your daughter to do whatever the fuck I want. So you just let me know. I don't give a fuck. So then we cut to Eric and Eric.
He's like, I just do dirt.
They go, right. I just like to do dirt for dirt doing sake.
Oh, he's like whatchamacallit in Rick and Morty, the dude that just like to kill for
from Populous Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love killing. He just loved mess.
Mm-hmm.
Marie Kondo. So Eric and Eric go to down by the docks, and we see a black girl follow them down the street surreptitiously, like they don't know she following them. And then we see Sir Christian question Amon about not knowing Aegon's habits, like, why you don't know your own brother? And Amon is like, man, I don't know where this nigga is. He could be in the hands of some mercenaries on the ship to Yeeti. He could be dead.
Right, he could be anywhere.
Okay, this motherfucker is a wild boy. Okay, that's what I'm telling you.
Right. I'll be the one in here reading the books and training and combing the internet and trying to get my skills up. This nigga be out here fucking around in the streets.
Right. And so when he says he could be dead, Kristen is like, well, let's hope not for your mama's sake. And, it's like, whatever. Eric and Eric go into a building. It's a large crowd. They cheering. And these niggas are in here, only in Westeros, y'all, watching children fight in a pit like chicken fights, but with kids.
Yes.
And
like the Romans, they threw them in there, was like, fight.
Yeah, whichever one is the good one, Eric or Eric. Of course, he's like, you see what the fuck I be talking about when I say this nigga shouldn't be king? Look at this shit. He go see this shit for free. Like, this is his pleasure. This is his fun. He is known as a VIP. He a high roller at the kids' fights. Okay.
Yes. He got his own box in this bitch.
Like, y'all think Mike Vick is bad? This nigga is worse. He got little children fighting, and he loved to see it. And apparently, at the Underground Child Fight Club, they fucking file the children's teeth, grow their fingernails, and make them like more vicious.
Mm-hmm.
And
they probably don't feed them and shit.
And then they pan over to like a little baby in the corner and said, look at that little baby. You see that silver hair? That's one of his bastards. Okay. And I bet you he got more. And I think I called this either on the show.
You did.
Or
you was like, this ain't the first time. Like, this is some shit he been doing.
I've been right about all of it. We've been right about all of it. Woo! Yes. Yes.
Listen, this is the thing. He can't be king because he's sloppy as fuck. Like, that the motherfucking, he got 12 billion bastards out here that he ain't taking care of. Like, it's a no for me, dog. He's gonna be terrible. Anyway, so he's like, he probably got mad bastards walking around here. And then he goes, do you see now what he is? And his brother's like, man, just go ahead. We swore oath. Let's just go to the next spot. So then Amon tells Sir Christian, hey, I'm that nigga. Okay. I be studying. I know the histories. I know the philosophy. I fucks with these swords. I motherfucking got the biggest dragon. I should be the goddamn king. Everybody know I should be the king. And he says, Kristen goes, I know what it's like to toil for what others are freely given. And my man Amon is like, look, we can't find them. Okay. We decent. We don't know about this gutter bullshit that he's doing for recreation.
Right. He probably doing some shit. I have no idea, but I knew where to start.
Yeah, we can't track this down. Like, I went to the dirtiest place I know, and they said he ain't been there in years because it's not dirty enough.
Not dirty enough.
What the fuck? He was like, look, his secrets are his own. He welcome to them secrets. I'm next in line for the throne now, because if he die, I'm next, because we don't skip right area. If they come looking for me, I intend to be found. Like, I'm gonna rule this bitch.
It ain't gonna be no problem. Put like this, you gonna find me.
Right. I ain't gonna be out.
They gonna call my name. I'm be like present.
Right. So then in another juke joint, Eric and the twins, they in there and they like, look, we need to do something. Okay. Eric is the good one. So he's like, we need to do something because Aegon not fit the rule. And Eric is like, but we already swore oath. We don't have a choice.
He was like, you don't see what this nigga doing, and you talking about we ain't got no choice.
So then the black woman comes up. Her name is Jane. I found out in the closed caption. Jane with a Y. You know why. Who was following them, asked for a moment of their time. They like, girl, we don't want no pussy. We are not even like that. And she's like, I'm talking about y'all want to know what Aegon is? And they're like, oh, we do want to know what Aegon is. She was like, well, I know someone that know where Aegon is. And they like, cool, let's go meet. And she was like, she'll only tell the hand of the king. My mistress know the secrets. And her mistress is the white worm. So we, little intrigue. Back at the castle, Allison oversees the Silent Sisters wrapping up the king's body in gold cloth, doing the body. And she sits his crown upon his body and she cries real hard. And I have to think, she must have such complicated feelings.
Yeah,
for this man.
She got to. And the people that do the body, they actually do a really good job. I can see people asking, who do the body? Those sisters,
the Silent Sisters.
The Silent Sisters. Boy, they do a real good job.
Wrapping them up in the gold. Like
I want them to come and do me when I die.
You gotta wrap them too, because he had some things going on. So you gotta give him that Egyptian treatment. It costs a little extra, but it's worth it.
Yeah, you know how old people do. Whenever they go see a nice funeral, they talk about.
Yeah.
My mama did that. She was like, when your grandma died, that she was like, I want these people to do my body. I said, whatever you want, mama.
So Allison stops by Rhaenys's room, who has been held hostage, and she's gonna tell her the deal. But before she can even say shit, Rhaenys deduces all this shit. Like, she walks in, she's like, bitch, you better have a good ass explanation for why the fuck I'm locked up in my room.
Come on.
And then Allison is like, and she's like, what? No, hold up. Why the fuck am I up in this room? Oh shit. He died. The king is dead.
That's the only
and y'all still in the goddamn throne.
Right, because she's like, you have no other reason to keep me fucking locked in this goddamn room.
And then Allison is like, it's Viserys' dying wish. And Rhaenys, of course, scoffs at this shit. Like, oh, he changed his mind last night, then he died. Okay, bitch, whatever. And she was like, well, believe it or not, he wants Aegon to be the king. And he will be the king. But now you need to get down with us, Team Green. Here's her reasons. You ain't gained shit from being loyal to Rhaenyra, except your daughter being dead alone in Pentos. Your son got cuckolded. Them kids is not his. Corlys, the only one, like, that's supposed to be your husband. He abandoned your ass, went to fight in a war for 6 years, left you alone. Now he mortally or grievously wounded, and you on your own. So you need to get down with the winning team and stop being a motherfucking loser. And Rhaenys was like, the word of my house ain't fickle, bitch. Why the fuck I'm gonna just change my mind?
Right.
That don't make no sense. And then Allison was like, hey, I love Viserys, but I'm gonna speak the truth now. He dead. You should have been the queen. The Iron Throne was yours by blood and temperament. Viserys would have lived his days out as a country lord, all happy and stupid and shit. not ruling nothing, but
golfing and shit, going hunting. He'd have been just fine.
She's like, but we women, we can't rule. So we don't rule, but we guide the men who do gently away from violence and destruction towards peace. That's what we want to do. And Renice at this time, like Allison was like holding her hands in her hand, looking her in the eye. And Renice pulled her motherfucking hands away and walked away. And she was like, so you imprison me in the name of peace?
Right.
Where's my
That makes
dragon?
sense.
And Allison was like, no, you can't leave with your dragon. We need your dragon. Because if Rhaenyra hear about this and she want to go to war, like, we'll be like, but we got all the dragons. And then she'll be like, damn, we only got 2 dragons or whatever. And then she won't fight. And Rhaenys is like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. And she's like, okay, well, how about this? Okay, Rhaenys, we're going to give you Driftmark. And we know you only love your little black grandbabies. We gonna let them pass the throne down through them, no matter how you see fit. So now you got what you want. You on the throne, and your granddaughters, y'all run shit. And Rhaenys is like, you know what? You smarter than I thought, Allison. I thought you was a real dummy. But you know what? You're not that dumb. And Allison thought it was a compliment because she didn't feel the butt coming. You know, so she didn't feel. She said, "Oh, you think I'm smart?"
She don't know shade when it's coming.
And right. And Allison goes, "A true queen counts the cost to her people," thinking like, "Yes, I'm avoiding war, and the people won't have to worry about the battle between the dragons." And that's when Rhaenys dropped the other hammer, which was, "And yet, you will pick me, okay?
You begging and pleading up underneath these motherfucking men.
You a real pick me
ass in there and do like Cersei did and said, I'm going to motherfucking take this crown." Cersei was like, everybody that's going to challenge me, bitch, they gonna die. And you're not willing to do that, so you're not taking it seriously.
Right. And so it's like, she goes, yet you toil in the service of men, your father, your husband, your son. I'm built different. You basic. You desire not to be free, but to make a window in the wall of your prison. Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne? And then she stepped forward and she was looking at her in the eyes with that head tilt like Daniel Kaluuya in Widows. So it's like with no respect, but also I'm looking you in your motherfucking eyes. And then Allison was like, I'm leaving. Ring the bell when you have an answer. Because Allison want to do this cool, but she wants a bloodless clue. She don't have to kill nobody.
And I hate to tell her, there's no such thing.
Yeah, they already done killed Beesbury. That it's impossible for it not to be bloody now. Meanwhile, Sir Kristen and Aemon get lucky and see the white worm, Missaria. So it is Missaria, as alluded to earlier, meeting with the twins and Otto in a Starbucks. You know what I mean? Like just out, they was like at a diner in public, being like, all right, so we meeting. And Otto is like, are you the white worm, or you like another motherfucker that's like talking on behalf of the white worm? And she was like, my condolences on the king.
Yes, that talk.
And he was like,
she sounds just like that too.
Yeah. He was like, oh shit, you the real white worm. Okay, so you already know the king dead. Okay, cool. So give her the money. They give her a bag of cash. And Jane, the black girl, she counts the money. Now I will say this too. I saw somebody last night that was like, what did she get out of this? And for a second, they got me because I said, yeah, what did she get out of this? The money.
Right. The money.
It was right there in your motherfucking face.
Keep the lights on now. This shit, my information ain't for free.
Like, she does ask for something else later. But the point is, I saw her get a bag of cash up front, and something in my mind blanked it out because I was like, that's all she got. And it's like, oh, well, it is money, and money does count. Oh, anyway.
Money counts.
So then she said, Otto was like, where's Aegon? And she goes, I thought the prince is in Flea Bottom where no one is to be trusted. I'd best secrete him somewhere safe in case they come looking for him. He's safely tucked away. I want an end to Child Fight Club. The Gold Cloaks take bribes to look the other way on the babies,
Mm-hmm.
and obscenity tolerated or ignored by the crown. And Otto's like, fine, I'll look into the baby fight club, whatever the fuck. Where's the kid?
Yeah, she was like, they filed their teeth and shit. Like, come on, this is ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, it's terrible. But he don't care. He just wants the boy. It's like as much as it takes to shut it down is as much as it takes to look away to Otto. I think that's important in that he'll get it done, but he don't care.
No, he don't care.
And her leverage, of course, is she know all they fucking business. Like, so the leverage she has is like, and Otto has kept this network alive for over 20 years. Like, he was kicked out 10 years ago, came back, or 15 years ago, came back, and this network of spies is still alive, meaning that when he found out Rhaenyra and Daemon was up in the club finger banging and shit, that was the same group of spies. So he likes that this is there, so he won't like destroy it, is my point. Even though this is first time meeting her face to face,
right?
She's like, I'm valuable to you, so get rid of this shit because I care about the babies. Okay. Now, what I think is interesting about this as well is we know in Game of Thrones, much later, 200 years later, we know that this network of like spies and kids around, it's still intact, to some extent, or it was put together. And so like this, maybe that's what happens when the kids aren't being fucking in Fight Club. They go join the network of spies and become,
and they just get some change to be able to eat and shit.
Yeah, so you get to become the Lord of Whispers because of the fucking babies.
Right.
So it's like, it's actually a really good strategy if that's what's happening. I mean, we'll find out later, but you know. Anyway, so she goes back and he was like, I'll look into it. She's like, when your plots ripen and you install your grandson on the throne, remember it was me that put him there. I could have killed him as easily as a wasp on a fruit. That which I don't never heard that, killed as easily as a wasp on a fruit. Is the wasp killing the fruit, or do
I don't know.
The wasp like the fruit, so then you kill it?
Some old country saying. I don't know that. That slang is above my head.
Yeah, wherever in Transylvania,
1800 speech.
Wherever in Transylvania this woman comes from, that must be a thing they do.
Must be.
She goes, "There's no power but what the people allow you to take. I don't care. Do you?" And then he says, I'll remember. And then later on, we see Eric and Arik at the Sept, and they looking for Aegon. They hear some coughing from underneath like a table with a bunch of candles on it. And this nigga has been hidden up under this table with the candles on it. He's not even tied up. He's not guarded.
Nope. He was actually on site. Like he was in the building.
I literally feel like this nigga just had a hangover like Damon, and she just threw this nigga under the table and then pretended that she kidnapped him or something. Like, I do not understand all the subterfuge for this nigga to just be hiding under there. And it seemed that what I'm guessing, of course, the show hasn't shown or told me this, I'm guessing he must have wanted to be hidden. Like someone told him, your daddy dead, you the new king. He was like, the fuck I am. I am George W. Bush to the bullshit. You know me. I don't need to be nobody king. I just want to get drunk and watch football games and shit. And now
y'all got me want me do real work.
Right. No. Y'all got me run the government and shit. Y'all better give me a Dick Cheney ass nigga to tell me what to do. I don't want to do this. And so they like, you got to do it, bro. You the only one that they fuck with out here in these streets. And so he's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to be the king. So they go and grab this nigga from under the table. And
he fought them.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you can't make me. He's running away and shit. They tackling him. And I love how the one brother that don't fuck with him was like put forward no effort. Like he ain't tackle him at all. He was like, okay then.
I guess so.
The brother that wanted to be king was like, you flee what other men die seeking Aegon. And the other brother was like, I guess if that's what y'all say.
Right.
And is this your king?
I'm not breaking the sweat for this.
This your king? Outside, they confronted by Sir Kristen and Aemon. Eric, the one that want the dude to be the king, and Kristen get a sword fight. But it's like a swashbuckling ass sword fight on the steps and shit. It's not no like
It's like a
Game of Thrones.
It's like a Zorro sword fight.
Yeah, it's some real practice sword play. It wasn't like nobody was in danger getting killed.
No.
And so then Aegon flees. He gets tackled by his younger brother Aemon. Aemon was like, I was hoping you disappeared, like so I could be king. And then Aegon was like, is our father truly dead? And Aemon was like, yes, and they're gonna make you the king. And Aegon spits in Aemon good eye, like, try to run away. And then he tackles him again, like, no, bitch, calm down. And then Eric loses the sword fight. His brother don't even help him.
He looking.
He leaves.
I think he asked him, was like, well, where's your brother?
Right.
His brother's looking like, couldn't be me.
Which honestly, man, listen, I know y'all ain't gonna want to hear this, but I gotta be honest. Sir Kristen and Aemon got the hands. I don't know how many more times they're gonna show us they got the hands. They got the motherfucking hands. Somebody better get their shit together. If the plan is to take down the Green Council or whatever the fuck, and these niggas is Team Green, it's not looking good on the other side. Something gotta happen. They got the biggest dragons. I'm motherfucking scared. Okay, because the thing is, Kristen was never in danger of losing that fight, but he was so nice with the hands. He never was in danger of killing that dude. You see what I'm saying? That's more impressive than just like killing the motherfucker. Like he kills people by accident, apparently.
Apparently so.
But when he was fighting this nigga, he was just like clink, 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 clink. Give me your sword. All right, man. So you done? Are we done here? Like it was really that simple.
Are we done here? Are we done?
Like I was so impressed with this shit. I hate to be that way.
Are we done here?
But it was very impressive, and I really haven't seen anybody give this man a problem. He beat up Daemon. That's how we got introduced to him. He beat up Daemon in episode 1. Yeah, man. I know he's a bitch, blah, blah, blah. And said all the shit. Y'all hate him. Who gonna beat him up? Who gonna check him? I'm just saying. Anyway. So this is like how like people don't like Kyrie Irving, but it's like his handles is nice. You know,
he
like,
still an excellent basketball player.
Like I gotta give him credit though. The man's handle, that's a bad man. You know, Stephen A. Smith says about Aaron Rodgers whenever they bring up the ivermectin, and he's like, that's a bad brother right there. Like, yeah, exactly. So anyway, he gives this nigga the hands. And then he comes over to Aegon and Aemon because Aegon is being like, I don't want the rule. I have no taste for duty. Listen, brother, let's get on the ship right now. Sail away. I never need to be seen again. I don't want this shit. And you can kind of see Aemon was like, you know what? The ship's is just a block away.
I can walk her ass up there.
I'll just tell Mom we couldn't find you and I'll be king. Fuck it.
I was already giving up before we found you anyway.
Right. And Kristen is like, the queen awaits. So they got to go. Otto is in his room writing a letter to somebody.
Sitting up in my room.
And Allison comes in and says, and like, haha. And he goes, well played. And she's like, this isn't a game, daddy. He's like, but you treated it as a game and you won. We're on the same team, even if we are beefing. And she was like, our hearts were never one. I see this now. Or rather, I'm a piece you moved about the board. I said, okay, awakening. Okay, finally coming to it. Viserys tried to tell you.
Right.
Like, but that's what Otto does. He's not a clever man. He's a manipulative man, but he's not that clever with it. No. It's easy to see the pieces if you're willing to realize that this man is just out for power and out for his legacy of his family and himself. That's it.
Yep, nothing more.
So she realizes, like,
it's not that deep.
Yeah, you ain't respect me, you don't love me, you just fucking use me as a piece to get some power. And he was like, well, if you were a piece on my puzzle, you're welcome, bitch. I made you the queen of the 7 kingdoms. Leveled you all the way up. And she says, how could I know? I wanted whatever you impressed upon me to want. And now the debt comes due. And he is like, a sacrifice made for stability of the realm. No king hasn't had to forfeit the lives of a few to protect the lives of the many. I know you're a squeamish. She was like, squeamish, nigga, you talking about murder. Like, that's not good. So I'm weak because I don't want to murder people. And I was like, yes, you are weak because you don't want to murder. This is not the friendship game. It's the murder game. Okay. Anyway, she says, I have Aegon, which is the whole point of them racing to get him. Right. Like Kristen and them and Eric. So he was like, listen, she says, I have Aegon. We gonna do what the fuck I say we gonna do. So we gonna send terms around there, some good terms on Dragonstone, so she can be like, okay, cool, I accept. She don't have to get shamed or humiliated. We ain't gotta call her sons bastards and shit. And he goes, if she's alive, her friends gonna come through, they gonna form Voltron, and then they gonna come back and wish for her to return.
And we're gonna have a war on our hands. The fuck is wrong with you? You don't, it's like, as much as you quote unquote want this end in peace, people are not in a peaceful mood, and people are gonna be like, no. Right. He was like, do you really think you're gonna send her a raven and she gonna send you a message back to go be like, yep? Mm-hmm. It's gonna be like, nope, fuck you, bitch. See you with my dragons on the next flight.
Right. And so she says, well, we just won't let her return. Like, we have to make the terms that good or something. And she says, my husband, Viserys, would reserve his mercy for his daughter. And Otto says, your husband or you and your little childhood friend think I ain't see y'all being friends and shit when y'all was kids?
Right.
I get it. This ain't nothing but that. You try to act like it's Viserys, which is bullshit. Viserys would, one, he would still have Rhaenyra as heir. Two, if he had decided at the last second to not have her as heir, this nigga definitely wouldn't have been like, and please kill my daughter.
No.
So
as much as
I don't reach it.
Trying to do everything, even with him and Daemon, he actually was like, hey dog, I know we ain't spoken in 10 years, but you could still got a place here.
Right. So he reaching.
Right. He still cares about them, and there's no way he would have wanted, which she is right. There's no way he would have wanted his daughter to die.
Yeah.
It was she was like, do you see the extent he went up to his death to validate her? Get out of here.
So he reaching.
Mm-hmm.
But he is right in that they should kill everybody that's not them.
If you don't want a war.
I mean, listen, it is what it is. We know the rules. It's fitting to be a motherfucking war now, because if she's out there, and we know Rhaenyra's temperament, she not gonna take this laying down.
Nope.
So I don't, anyway. But Alicent want to be friends, and she being a halfway crook, and I don't respect the halfway of the crookness.
And her dad is not there no more to kind of keep that peace. Like you say, when Big Mama dies, all hell breaks loose. So when she gets mad, ain't nobody gonna be there. But that's your friend. All them connections is gone.
Alicent also negotiates. Kristen Cole will be the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Her son gonna be anointed tomorrow at dawn. All the King's Landing gonna be there to witness it. And we ain't gonna have no more of this bickering and fighting. He gonna wear the crown of Aegon the Conqueror. He gonna carry Aegon's sword, Blackfire, because we love recycling some old shit here.
Of course.
Ain't no need to buy no new clothes. And let people remember the strength of House Targaryen. And Otto, once again, this light of respect came across his face. And he's like, you look like your mother in certain lights. And she just got up and left. And as she left, he went, as you wish. Because like at the end of the day, he respects the game, and she beat him. Like I know that, he didn't get what he wanted, and what she's saying is kind of foolhardy, but he's like, shit, she got the Aemon first. That's Aegon first. So there you go. So then she goes back to her room, and Lord Larys done snuck in this motherfucker again.
I don't understand how Bigfoot, Littlefoot get the fuck around and don't be making no goddamn noise. What is that boot made out of?
So then she says, it's late. What you want? And he says, I found out something you should know. And he sits down, lays his cane down. And then she says, he was like, you're probably wondering how they found out. Your dad found out where Aegon was before you could. And so she takes a seat, and he stops talking. And he had this look on his face like, if you want me to keep talking, you know what you got to do. So then she takes her shoes off, and puts her feet on the table, on the coffee table.
Yeah, I wasn't ready, because I was like, oh.
I was ready, because this part wasn't that fucked up to me. I didn't realize what was happening at all. I was like, oh, they done got so comfortable she can relax and take her shoes off around this nigga. Wow.
Right. That's what I said. I was like, okay, cool.
They must be best friends. That's what I was thinking. Like I guess you spend 20 years in a girl's room and you never have sex. Eventually she's like, it's like how if you ever been friends with a woman long enough, it's like they you come in, they take their bra off or something. You're like, yeah, of course, because they're uncomfortable. It's not like they like look at my titties. They like, I'm taking my bra off because it's uncomfortable in this bitch, and you my friend,
right?
And I don't expect you to be weird about it. And you're like, I'm not gonna be weird about these titties. That's what I was thinking. Some version of that. Oh, she's not sucking a gut in around this guy. Oh my God. That's not what it was. So she puts her feet on the table and then he starts talking again. It's almost as if he was waiting for it. And he says, there's a web of spiders in the keep and your dad know about it. And he kept it in place, which we know that's true. That's how he found out about Rhaenyra and Daemon 15 years ago. And when he got his ass kicked out of the crib. So we know that he knew about the spy network and he never dismantled it once he came back as head. And he says, look, they know about all the shit we be doing. Yes, even you, all up in Black Twitter, everything. They got all our business, all our old tweets.
On TMZ, they archiving everything.
They love to dish you us.
Yeah, they got a Reddit thread.
And they will cancel motherfuckers too. And so he said more than once, it's proven to be advantageous to those who are willing to feed the weaver. And she says, and this weaver watches me. And then he pauses. And you're like, she's like, oh God. So she take off her socks. And now you can see like the whole feet.
Take off her stockings.
Yeah. And he's looking like Quentin Tarantino.
And I think she had knee highs. I ain't wore them in forever.
Right. So he's getting this Tarantino on like them delicious feet. And he says, your girl Talia, your lady in training, she one of them spiders. Okay. But there's more, a lot more. And the only way to destroy this advantage is to take out the head. Because when the queen dies, the bees fly without purpose. Beg your pardon for the turn of phrase, because you the queen too, your grace. And she says, so you can take her out? And he said, if you want it to be, I can do it. And then she turns away and puts her feet on the couch and looks the other way. And this man starts unbuckling his pants, and you can see in the background he's clearly jacking off to them feet.
I did not see it.
He is jacking off to them feet.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, it would be one thing if I was expecting it. I was not expecting it.
Oh my God. 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 Oh my God.
How is a foot fetish worse than incest? I don't know, but it is.
I don't know if it's where they filmed it or what, but it was like, oh no.
Is it because it was her? I don't know.
I don't know either.
And then he got club foot, but he in the feet. It
was
a lot going on
happening. Yeah, it was just so much happening at the same time.
This show, I don't know how they know, but they know. Because it's like, I don't want to kink shame him, but this man was on her ToenlyFans or whatever. Like, she invented the NDA last week, and now she done invented ToenlyFans.
Come on.
I don't know. And now at least we found out what motivates him. Because this whole time I've been like, what is it that this man wants? Apparently he's a homosexual.
Yes, he is.
Okay, and it makes sense now. But although I do wonder when he said that stuff about Otto, where he was like, the hours, no reason the hours can't benefit you. Are we gonna get a scene next week with him jacking off the Otto's feet?
You don't. Who knows?
I don't know if it had to be a woman's feet. So I don't want to presume. I don't know nothing about this world. I don't even know what make a foot good.
Me either. That might be his jam.
Like I saw his toe jam. I saw people saying, in our chat room being like, those ugly feet. And I'm gonna be real. I don't know what makes a foot jack offable.
No, but
I'm shocked that y'all do.
Because the people make a lot of money off of showing their feet.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the rules are for, like, when you say it's ugly, I'm like, that would mean there's a type of foot you consider like, oh, I jack off to them with feet though. You know? Well, anyway, he was into these feet, and it was very weird watching him knowing he was jacking to feet, but that's what he does. So then we get a montage of everybody that night. Aegon is probably eating off his hangover. Allison, not really seeming to be like pondering what he's gonna do as king, just like, oh God, I gotta drink a Bloody Mary. I gotta soak up some of this alcohol with some pancakes. He's just eating Waffle House at 3 a.m.
Right, mad.
Otto's looking out the window. Aemon sitting by the fireplace or some shit, just staring into the fire. Allison's up worried about what tomorrow's gonna bring. And then we cut to Rhaenys, who can't sleep, and we hear we hear Eric come to her room and say, hey, we gotta get you out of here. And like, we hear him tell like one of the guards, like, get the fuck out the way. Like, I ain't dealing. No, this some bullshit. Come on, let's go. And she's like, okay, you know, let's go. Like, he gave her one of them fucking super hoodies they have that
Damien got hoodies there. Well, all of them is like Damien scraps his leftovers. He had them shits everywhere.
Did they have a sale?
They had a sale on a Assassin's Creed hoodies.
Yeah.
Is that the right video game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's buy one, get one free.
Buy one, get one half off.
Motherfucking Enzio hoodies and shit. So anyway, they give her a hoodie and they start walking through the keep trying to find a way out. And that's when we see hanging up in the rafters like Steph Curry's jersey. It was motherfucking dead John Malkovich.
Yes, he was hanging.
They hung him.
I wonder what happened to the other two. They probably hung them somewhere else.
I think they might be just in the dungeon.
Oh, they might.
And then they basically be like, y'all need to bend the knee. Like, once we install Aegon, you get one more chance. Bend the knee. You're a hostage or whatever the fuck type of situation.
Okay,
but he tried to escape.
Yeah, they killed him because he was trying to leave the premises.
Yeah, he lied and tried to escape. So then Eric takes her out of the same exit Damon used to take Ray clubbing. And it's almost dawn, which we know Aegon will be installed as king at dawn. We see a house burning. And at first I thought it was the whole house. I said, they burned the whole house. They didn't even do nothing. You know, now why are they in it?
The whole house is just fine.
It's fine. It's Masaria's crib. Because we see one of those like tongueless hooded dudes walking away. And we know that arson is Larys's fucking,
that's his jam.
That's his go-to move. That's his signature.
Because this is before DNA and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, ain't like nobody can confirm shit.
So, yeah. So, I think they tried to kill Masaria by burning her crib down. But you know me, no body, no death. I got to see the body.
She might survive that shit.
As far as I'm concerned, Corliss still alive too.
And she might survive that shit. And I'm going to keep it real. If she do, she going to be a motherfucking problem. Because in her mind, even though he didn't do it, she gonna feel like Otto sent them to kill her.
Yeah, I can see that. And that is not a problem you want.
No, it is not.
Rhaenys says, what about my dragon, Maelys? Eric's like, girl, they gonna be waiting on you at the dragon pit. You won't get past the door. Just get to the river, get a ship, and then we can just get the fuck out of here before they know you gone. And they can't because they get swept up in a crowd. Of people being
like
herded.
Sweeps. I kept saying, what is happening here?
They are literally herding these people.
These people minding their business. They actually out here baking this shit and going up and down and just living their lives. They was like, we don't give a fuck what you got planned. We getting ready to herd y'all into the kingdom.
They are beating them like cows towards the kingdom.
Yes, they
to witness this motherfucking justice of the peace coronation.
It was like, this was not my plan for today.
Like, it was no invite sent out. You know what I mean? This isn't like a festive occasion. It was like, what you doing? Selling potatoes, my lord. They're like, get your ass to the motherfucking keep, bitch. Get your motherfucking ass. Go, dog.
Wake everybody up. They was like, but my kids, they sleep, my lord. Wake their asses up.
Ain't no school. Ain't no school. Get out of the fighting pit, kids.
School canceled today.
Right. And so they
like, y'all get.
They made them get to the keep. And then
They were beating them and shit. I was like, the fuck is this?
And they're making the preparations inside, sitting like the crown on a green pillow and shit. You know, these niggas love green. And then Aegon and Allison are riding in the carriage to the keep. And she says, damn, man, you look blown. You can't even attempt to look grateful. You about to be the motherfucking king. And he was like, I know my dad ain't want me to be king. He fucking hated me. He never liked me. And she was like, well, in his final breath, he said for you to be king. He's like, bitch, stop bullshitting me. Don't toy me. And he looks at the dagger from Aegon the First or whatever the fuck. And he picks up the dagger and he's filled with emotion. And you can tell it does mean something to him. He's just been trying to hold it back.
Right.
And then she urges him. She's like, okay, you about to be king. Do me a favor. Don't kill your sister, Rhaenyra. Don't do that. Your dad Otto gonna want you to do it. Your granddad gonna try to make you do it. But don't do it. And he says, do you love me? For real, for real? And she says, endlessly. And I said, didn't you just disown him 2 days ago? You said no son of mine, but okay.
She was just talking.
She was just mad. Yeah. She loved that little rapist. And so the crowd is starting to gather in the venue. Rhaenys is in there being pushed towards there, but then she sees where the crowd is heading, realizes it's towards the keep, and she starts smiling.
Because my thing, I was like, when they left, I was like, she went a big ass circle. They left just to be
herded
back into the building. Right. I was like, well, she didn't go nowhere.
I thought the same thing. And I didn't realize what she was smiling at the time. And so then we get the motherfucking shotgun coronation and shit. People of King's Landing, Otto was saying this shit. Today is the saddest of days, and smiling hard. Our beloved King Viserys the Peaceful is dead.
And everybody don't know how to respond.
But it is also the most joyous of days, which makes no sense. But he's like, the Viserys the Peaceful is dead, but it is also time to turn up, bitches.
1, 2, 3, come on. We got DJ Cool and Duck Get Fresh. Rock it to the beat, cause we are the best. We got Chucky Fresh.
They're like, are we supposed to be quiet? The crowd was so confused. The crowd didn't know how to respond. You told me the king dead, now we're getting another king. What's happening? You woke us up this morning. I didn't even get a chance to get a bagel. You ran my ass in here.
As his spirit left his body, he also had said, Aemon is the new king, nigga. Drinks on me.
I know he was there partying. The crowd's looking like, what? What the fuck is happening here?
He's like, the crowd cheers a little bit, and then the guards march through the crowd, and they make a wall, and the trumpets.
And they treat the people like shit. They're like, move out the way.
The trumpets start playing fanfare. And then Aegon dressed in all black, looking like, the King Viserys 2 or whatever the fuck. And he's got the motherfucking black fire sword with him. And he started walking through the procession. And they start playing his motherfucking, his theme song and shit to get the crowd hyped. And then Otto, like, at 5'8",
yes,
out of King's Landing, Westeros, #1,
your king,
Aegon Targaryen. And he gets up there, and because Otto, he's like, it's y'all great fortune to get to see this moment. Y'all, it's a privilege for you niggas. He put on for the realm, for the city, for the people. His mom kissed him on his forehead, and he kneels. They give him the rights of the 7. May the warrior give him credit. May courage. May the smith give him strength, and the sword to the shield. May the father defend him in his need. May the crown lift her shining lamp and light his way to freedom. May the pimps get the hose for him. May the I forget the rest of the 7. They didn't say all the 7. like may the stranger not roll through because the stranger is deaf, it's all that. And then the priest hands the crown to the conqueror to Sir Kristen, head of the King's Guard, and he puts the crown on Aegon's head. And Aemon looks like LeBron last night looking at Steph Curry get them rings. He was in the background like, I want that championship too. And then Helena can't even look at this nigga. And for some reason, they cut the Larys looking at Helena. I don't know what that means.
Who knows?
But they've never shown her feet on camera. So who knows? Maybe she got size 12s. Maybe he like, you next.
Look at them toes.
And then Sir Kristen is like, let the 7 bear witness Aegon Targaryen is the true heir to the Iron Throne. And he couldn't wait to do that and say that shit.
And that nigga turned around, it was silence. I was like, he might as well said, please clap.
And then the crowd starts murmuring and shit. We see Rhaenys walk off, like run off and run down a tunnel. And
I was like, oh, she getting the fuck out of here. I don't blame her.
I said, about time. This is me at every family reunion. I got a movie to see. Bye. And so then Otto leans back all proud, like, look at me. Got my family on the throne. And everyone bows their heads individually, like as he looks at each one, they do a little bow of the head. All hail is Grace Aegon, second of his name, king of the Andals and the Rhaenor and the First Men, lord of the 7 kingdoms, protector of the realm. And he turned around and it was quiet. Nobody was clapping. It was quiet as fuck.
Yeah, they were so confused. Like I said, they woke him up. They herded them in there like cattle. Half of them probably ain't ate breakfast yet.
Everybody's like, what the fuck just happened? I was waiting on one person to be like, it was so quiet. One person could have been like, forgive me, my lord. Isn't Princess Rhaenyra the heir to the throne? Like that's
right.
That's how quiet it was. Somebody could have said that shit. That would have been.
I told you that somebody should say, please clap.
Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt like that. George, not George Bush, his brother,
one of them Bushes,
Larry Bush. He was like, please clap. I know Larry Bush isn't his name, but it felt like that. Where it's like everybody was like, oh, we were supposed to applaud that he's the king. But eventually they do clap, they do cheer, and he pulls out his sword and starts raising it like, yeah, and we're going to Canada, yeah, we're gonna go to Dakota, and everybody's like, yeah, you're doing it. And Allison even smiles because as much as she was angry about him being a rapist, that's still her son,
right?
Okay. And so we get a 35 seconds of everybody cheering and going, yeah. Which honestly, they could have got him to cheer faster. You know what they should have said instead of Prince Aegon? They should have been like, hey, it's not that woman.
It's just like, hey, what about her emails?
Yeah. Remember, hey guys, a man is on the throne. Woo!
Hey,
yeah.
What you wanted?
My bad. I thought you was saying yes. Of course we want this. And so meanwhile, these niggas is like, didn't I see him down at the children fighting pits?
Right. Wasn't he at the whorehouse?
Right. Didn't I see this man walking around with 7 bastard babies the other day? Why are we cheering this? So they cheering, and then all of a sudden the ground bursts from beneath the crowd, killing dozens at least, and just exploding in dirt and fucking stones and shit.
Right. And I thought somebody set off a goddamn bomb.
And it's Rhaenys on her dragon Melis, and the guards can't get in to defend the people on the stage. And the people are also rushing to get out. So it's like they can't get in to save anybody, even though Otto is yelling, open the doors. Like, nigga, you don't have no dragon. Just run. But this is like the most badass, but also disappointing moment, because this dragon's towering over everybody. It's screaming, motherfuckers running out of the smoke and the fog, trying to get away. Everyone on stage is frozen except for Allison, who runs to the front of the stage and jumps in front of Aegon to protect him from this dragon. And for some motherfucking reason that I'll never understand, I don't give a goddamn how many times y'all explain it. No. Motherfucking Rhaenys, who everybody's like the baddest bitch, queen of the da. She had the dragon scream at them. And then she made a face that looked almost like she pitied Alicent. And I understand the reasoning being some level of like motherhood or something they're supposed to be talking about. And sure. I'm not saying it's, look, you can have a bad reason that's a valid reason to the character, right? I'm like, I think that's stupid, but the character believes that bullshit. So she didn't want to kill a mother or some shit, and she flies away instead. Now, what I would have said is her quote unquote defense of not Dracarys and all these niggas and ending the show in season 1 and being like, guess what, guys? It's just a limited series. Fuck these niggas. What I would say her reasoning, if the character got to talk about it later, it would be something to the effect of Alicent showed her mercy when she didn't come up into that room and be like, bend the knee or we killing you. And it was like, and let her live and try to do this bloodless kill.
Cool. It was like, next time.
I maybe throw that reason out because, yeah, like maybe something like that, or you know, I not everybody on this stage was a piece of shit or something like, you know, something like that. I think Rhaenys has tried her best to stay uninvolved in this conflict.
Yes, she has.
But I think even by escaping and telling Rhaenyra you're going to be involved in the conflict and you will have to pick a side. There's no neutral sides probably now after what they did. But yeah, I didn't like that part of it. And that felt like I said, everyone kind of had like to me, a bad week as characters for the game. Now, obviously they're going to keep this shit going for seasons. They don't want to burn everything in one season, but it felt a little like everyone came up a little short. Alicent being used as a pawn, not completely taking over, and even installing Aegon on the fucking throne, knowing he's a piece of shit. Otto really letting like her finding Aegon first shouldn't have changed anything for Otto. Like, you've been plotting behind her back for years. Who gives a fuck? Oh, you found him first. Okay, cool. Anyway, guys, can y'all go kill Daemon and Rhaenyra? And then Rhaenys not killing this nigga. Although she did look dope as fucking her armor. Now I don't know when she had time to quick change into her armor and hop on that dragon.
Right?
Because she showed back up like the cloak is gone, bitch. I done found my armor closet. But
was it beside the dragon?
It must have been.
It must have been a carry-on.
Yeah, I don't know where the guards was. But yeah, so that's it, man. Karen, what are you looking forward to next week?
To see what happens, because we know that she actually gets there to where Rhaenyra and them is, and she basically don't spill all the tea. And you know she's the first because they ain't got telephones or ravens and shit, so you know they are completely out the loop. And so once she tell them how everybody gonna strategize, and the lines are gonna be drawn, because there are gonna be people that are like, no, I'm not bending the knee, and I made an oath to you, and I'm gonna keep my oath.
I wonder if we spend the majority of our time at Dragonstone.
Yeah.
So we see the other side, because we spent so much time with at King's Landing. I feel like we had to see Dragonstone. I would love to see us gathering the allies of Rhaenyra together. And, you know, because they're not going to have the full conclusion to the series. They're planning on more seasons. And I'd also like to see a dragon fight. Like, even if it's just one dragon versus another dragon, I'd like to see I want to see some fighting, some killing and stuff this last episode. I don't want it just to be all talk, you know. I've enjoyed the talking episodes. They're good, and they're a lot of work to recap because I had to go back through each piece of dialogue and each scene. But I would love some killing. Just killing is easier for me. I'm like, that dragon fucking ate this nigga and then it did a breakdance. You know, I love that.
And it's going to be interesting to see. I know that some of the houses that actually quote unquote bend the knee, it's going to be interesting to see how many of them are still loyal or be like, nope, fuck that. I know I bent my knee, but I'm not. I changed my mind. I'm going to go against it now. And be on Rhaenyra's side. Like it's gonna be interesting. I know she did a terrible job making allies. Like that shit matters too.
That will be one place where we might see
yeah
some of her past stuff come back to haunt her. Is that she shirked a lot of duties and a lot of
responsibilities.
Yeah, a lot of
making them inroads.
When she was courting people, she was roasting motherfuckers and shit. Like, oh God, I didn't even think about that, Karen. I really hope that doesn't come back. I really hope they don't. Nah, bitch, what's up with that shit you was talking? They just like, the Blackwoods ain't got nothing for your ass because you thought it was so funny.
Right, then she's gonna be going around and they're gonna be like, you pick Sarah Christian instead of picking blah 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 blah.
Right, yeah.
You know, like
damn, I didn't even think about that.
And the reason why I said is because they made such an emphasis to show her kind of just
you made
to the whole process.
You make perfect sense. It's definitely anyway, I can't wait for next week. And who knows, after this shit, we might not get a show for 2-3 years because they be taking their sweet time to get this shit just right. So, we'll see how fast it is. But all right, thank y'all for listening as always. Thank you all the chat room people that show up. We love to see it. And thanks for your comments and your feedback and stuff. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.